Hi YouTube. So, I'm on a really irregular upload schedule, one could say. It's not even really a schedule at this point. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to share with you a list of 24 of my favorite songs that came out this year for literally anyone who cares. Even if it's just me in the future watching this back, wondering what the fuck I was on when I was 20 years old. Um, so yeah, these are not really in any particular order. I mean, no, they are. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. I did order them. I did go through and order them, but the order is not very conclusive. I would say the order could definitely change. Um, but that's just for me to know about. You guys, this is kind of sealing it in at a moment in time, and that's just going to be how it is. But luckily, usually I don't care that much. So yeah. I limited myself as well to one song per artist, because to be honest, if I had as many songs as I wanted for like any artist, then the entire list would be dominated by maybe three people, low key. Um, but I figured when I get to a song that kind of beat out the other artist's songs for that artist's slot, I'll say what those songs were as well. Um, so yeah, yeah, okay. Well, without further ado, I'll get started with my 24th favorite song of 2024, which was Diet Pepsi by Addison Rae. Now, you may be thinking, Ren, what the fuck? What do you mean there's an Addison Rae song in your top 24 songs? And I just gotta say, like, successful rebrand. Like, she kind of did it. Like, she's kind of slaying now. Um, I just find there's just something about Diet Pepsi that's so, and it's like an enigmatic song, you know. It really does capture a specific vibe that I personally have not a whole lot of experience with. Like I kind of went from like virgin to not in, well, I mean, a few minutes, but like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't in high school. I wasn't one of the like the hot kids who were popular. I didn't say that. I'm only a few years removed from high school, so it's all fresh in my memory. I'm talking from a high school perspective. I wasn't one of the kids who was like attractive enough to have a bunch of like a circle of boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. And you know, I didn't like mess around in high school very much. That wasn't my thing. But like this a Diet Pepsi really does capture that kind of feeling of like a first love, a first relationship, like the, you know, innocence lost, but it's like so sleepy, like night drive kind of vibe. Yeah, and it's just so catchy as well. I listened to it a lot when I was on the plane to Germany, right? So yeah, this list is kind of, it is informed by like the fact that I've had a crazy fucking year. Like I've done so much this year. I got a bachelor's degree. I traveled internationally. I had some relationships, in fact, believe it or not. Um, I quit my job, started a new job, quit that job, went back to my old job. So kind of just really, yeah. Anyway, so Diet Pepsi is number 24. Number 23 is Way Too Many Friends by Quadeka. Now, Quadeka, I haven't been a huge fan of the past, but he put out the album this year, Scrapyard, which got a lot of critical attention despite it being kind of a combination of songs that he hadn't put on other albums. It was like a B-sides project almost, but I found it really way more listenable than any of his other stuff that I've heard. It's very like the textures are all really interesting, and the kind of approachability yet emotional depth of it is also quite there. Like one of his other projects that is often also mentioned, Ignore My Hair, is like I Didn't Mean to Haunt You, which is his like concept album about being a ghost. And it's like I can't deal with that. Like low key, that's not it for me. Um, but no, there's so many little like topic considerations on Scrapyard that feel like they're more than it makes the album feel like more than the sum of its parts, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't feel like a actual B-sides record. It feels like a actual record. And Way Too Many Friends was just one of those songs that kind of pulled it together for me, where it was like, oh wow, like there's some really interesting production. You know, he doesn't have the most interesting voice, I would say, but he's got like the charisma to carry what he's saying. And there were just so many little lines that kind of get stuck in your head, and little phrases. It's very like, once you've listened to it a few times, it kind of hits that part of your brain that's like, oh, replay that part over and over. You know what I mean? Like, replay the song just to hear the little part where there's a little inflection that gets kind of stuck in your head. Yeah, so yeah, Way Too Many Friends, Quadeca, check it out if you haven't. All right, number 22 is Little Piggy by Alice Longue Gao. So I've been an Alice Longue Gao casual for many years now, ever since I heard Rich Bitch Juice, or maybe it was Rich Bitch Juice is one of them, but there's also Dumb Bitch Juice, which was, I preferred that one. But anyway, Little Piggy is a kind of pop rock inspired weird little bop about her body image problems she had when she was younger. And you may think that's a weird setup for a song, but the thing is that it actually plays very well for me tonally, given the place in my life that I'm at right now, where like at one point she's like the beat is like pounding and she goes starving in the most like some of the things she's saying are like cutting deep, like stepping on the scale, same weight, oh fuck. But because of the instrumentation and her kind of the personality that she always brings, where it's like slightly dismissive, slightly like sarcastic, very sardonic, it's like it plays as both like an ode to the struggles that she previously had, and also kind of embracing almost the superficiality of it. It's like, I don't know, the further away I've gotten from like the issues that I had when I was in like middle and high school, the more I've appreciated more kind of humorous takes on it that are coming from someone who knows what it's about. Like, not somebody who's on the outside who's like, oh haha, like girls who struggle with their body image are so like shallow. Like, no, I really, this song's cute. This song's cute. It's easy to listen to for what it's about, and it's also just like kind of a banger as well. Yeah. Okay. Next one is Yearn, Yeern 101 by Schoolboy Q. And I apologize, I didn't listen to the Schoolboy Q album because I didn't fucking feel like it. But yeah, this one just has like a really driving build up, and his flow is just so like so addictive. Like, I can feel my energy picking up as I'm listening to the song. So that's why it's here. I think I tried to play it for my dad once and he didn't like it, but honestly, that's not really an indictment of the song. No offense to my father. So yeah. Anyway, number 20 is You Sexua by FKA Twigs, and this song beat out several other FKA Twigs songs that I did like that came out this year. So I liked Drums of Death, I liked Perfect Stranger, and I liked whatever the other one was that I'm not remembering right now. I think there was another one, but I'm forgetting what it was. Anyway, You Sexua just has like this really electric, kind of dark, pitter-pattering beat, and then FKA Twigs is just saying these really like kind of vague but like charged things in the song, where it's got like this kind of smoky atmosphere where she's like, words cannot describe, and like odes to whoever this person that she's singing to is. It feels very like it's occurring, like you're behind a sheer curtain and she's like singing to you, but she's got like, you can see her shadows kind of twisting into odd shapes behind it, and you feel really confronted, but you also feel comforted. That's just the vibe that I'm picking up from this one. And so that's why it's at number 20 on the list. Anyway, number 19 is Darling I by Tyler the Creator. And this one beat out Hey Jane, which I love, but is just like, it's a cool story and I like what he's saying on Hey Jane. It's just like the instrumental is kind of boring. And I get why that is the case, because he's just trying to bring the lyrics to the forefront in the story. But at the same time, I was like, well, I want to pick a song from this album that is like representative of the sound of the album. Do you know what I mean? And it also beat out Take Your Mask Off. But that's because I relate more to Darling I. Darling I is about low-key being a polyamorous fuckboy, but like, you got a lot of love in your heart, lots of love. It's just, the song is him, the chorus is like, darling, I keep falling in love, and kind of trying to express to his partner that he loves them, but that there's an essential nature that cannot be changed about him. It's very much like a slightly more somber version of that one Hozier song. Fuck, what is it? I love that song. The Hozier fans will know. Okay, you'll know. I fall in love just a little bit every day with someone new. That's it, someone new. Anyway, Hozier. Yeah, I did it, guys. Call the police. I did it. But yeah, it's very, like, I really like so it's featuring Tizo Touchdown, I believe, and he's singing the chorus and like parts of the refrains or whatever, and they just have like really good chemistry, and it's very heartfelt, and you can kind of relate, and there's an intro and an outro from like some random woman talking who I don't know what it is, who she is, and it kind of, that intro kind of centers there's a female presence in the background. Like, it doesn't feel like he's just kind of talking to himself. Like, there's an insertion in there, which I appreciated a lot about that Tyler album, is that there were a lot of female voices on it, and him, so it felt more authentic that he was addressing these songs to women. I was like, okay, well, they're actually here. It feels like they're here. You know what I mean? Anyway, number 18 is Trust by Rebecca Black. This one's just a straight up like club banger. It's got basically everything you want in a club banger. It's got like a hard beat. It's got a good atmosphere. It's got a good like post-chorus kind of throwdown. She's saying things that are like vaguely sexy, but then also going back to just going like, ooh la la, get me going like la la la. Like, it's very like chew it up, spit it out, chew it up, spit it out. Still take. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like something that you can chew and spit out, but like in a good way, in like a fun way. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, 17 is Nothing Matters by The Last Dinner Party, which beat out Sinner for this spot as well. I didn't actually listen to the album, which I probably will at some point. I just didn't really feel like it. The Last Dinner Party brought a really organic kind of soft rock, whatever, inspired banger shit to this. And Nothing Matters is really kind of epitomized that in a song that I listened to on repeat while I was falling asleep and waking up and going to work. It's just something I felt like I could put on at any time. And it also kind of expressed that kind of nihilistic yet blissful feeling of love. That some of us, when we love someone, it doesn't make the whole world feel better, but it makes it bearable, and that was really, that felt like the song expressed that. And I will say, going forward, I don't really Google lyrics anymore. I kind of just like, sometimes I'll read along with them if I feel like it, but I don't really give a shit what other people think a song's about. Like, I'm never going on Genius and checking because literally every time I've done that, I've regretted it. I've been like, like, I'll see somebody say something that's like technically could be true, but it's like, well, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know this? Or I'll see something that's like the most obvious comment imaginable, and I'll be like, do other people even have brains? And just inevitably, I regret going on that website. So I just don't do it anymore. But yeah, Nothing Matters. It's it's got such, like, the vocal performance is also really dramatic. I find it's like it's got almost a old-timey spin to it. Like, when I first heard Nothing Matters, I kind of thought that it didn't come out this year. I was surprised to find out that it came out this year. Um, it just feels like one of those indie hits from like the early 2010s. And I mean that in a good way, not like a dated way. Um, it's one of those songs where it almost feels like it's been around forever. You know what I mean? Like it's there's a little bit of like classic rock worship to it as well. And I think all of the instrumentation is just really like well produced, like very warm and embodied. So yeah, I would recommend that album and that song, even though I haven't listened to the album. I've heard it's very good. Anyway, the next one is 16 is Yeah Glow by Glorilla. Now, this song beat out so many Glorilla songs. Glorilla is one of the artists who would be all up in this bitch if I had not limited the selection. So, like, Yeah Glow is my top one, but I also loved Hold On. I also loved Procedure. I also loved, what's the fucking one with, the one with Money Long. I really liked, even though I'm forgetting the name of it. It's just really good. And Wannabe with Megan Thee Stallion, also missed this, but that was because I wanted to put another Megan Thee Stallion song on here, just a spoiler. But yeah, Glorilla just has such a great command of, like, the song, the beat. I'm sorry if you can hear my flatmates' music as they're showering. It's whatever. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, Glorilla, she kind of came onto the scene when I was getting a little bit sick of Megan Thee Stallion always rapping about the same shit. And not that I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, female rappers are always singing about the same stuff. Like, because male rappers do too. And that's a complaint I've had with male rappers in the past as well. But Glorilla, she just kind of brought like she got like a fresh energy. You know, she's got that really, strong cadence. It almost sounds like her words are heavy, and she's not offbeat, but she's not like hitting it the way that Megan does. And at first that turned me off. But you get to Yeah Glow, and it's like she's throwing weight around when she's singing. Like, sorry, singing, rapping. She's rapping. She just kind of got an infectious energy that is really all I come to for like a specific rapper. Like, I love a good beat, don't get me wrong, but it's like I need you to bring that kind of firepower, that presence that makes me go, oh, I'm gonna walk faster down this random street. You get it. You get what I'm saying. I would hope. If you listen to rap, you probably understand. Um, but yeah, I just really like her, her lyricism as well. Like, some of the shit that she says on her songs is like really inventive. Like, it's on Wannabe, but she does say like, I ought to slap your mom to some guy. And it's just like, even when she's just flexing, it's fresh and new. And I really like that. So she was one of the female rappers who owned my ear. Others to come. Number 15 is Alma Mater by Bleachers, featuring, I believe, Lana Del Rey and that guy from The National. But I'm not completely sure because I didn't look on Genius because I won't touch that website, as I previously said. But Alma Mater's just got kind of that ramshackle, sweet, wistful kind of vibe that Bleachers does so well. The vocal harmonies are really like soft and layered, and the sentiment feels very like nostalgic but also still present. Again, didn't look up the lyrics, don't actually know what it's about, but maybe that'll be a fun treat for you, actually. Um, Fuck, dude. Does my flatmate always listen to this song when she gets in the shower? She won't. She won't watch this. My flatmate, one of them who showers with music on, always listens to um, this one. And I wonder if I ever cross your mind. And every time it's like I'm low key getting psychic damage. We'll talk more about psychic damage later. It feels like, I don't know, I love this song, but it's just so, like, emotionally, I don't need this on a Saturday afternoon before I'm about to get ready to, like, go drink a bunch of alcohol. Like, that's not what I need to be thinking about. Anyway, alma mater, gas. That's some gas. And I did like that Bleachers album. Fuck the people who think it's bad. It's not bad. It's good. Anyway, 14 is Battle of the Insomniacs by Chromeo. Now, I loved the Chromeo album, and Ballad of the Insomniacs beat out several other Chromeo songs to get on this list. Basically, like, half of the songs on the album, I'm not going to list them. But Ballad of the Insomniacs is like, it's got such little catchy portions of vocals, and the lyrics are funny as well. It's like, you know, if you're an insomniac, where's the party at tonight? Like, I went around, like, saying that all the time earlier this year. People would look at me like I was, like, deranged. It and Chromeo just has such a good, like, electronic palette where it's doesn't feel lifeless like I've found that some other electronic music that's based in, like, synthesizers can be, but it is very much more in that kind of, I would say, like, Church's lane. Not that it sounds similar to Church's, where it's like they've got kind of there's like a timbre to all of the synths that they use that has a lot of character in it. Yeah, yeah. So funny, sounds good, good stuff, love it. Anyway, 15, not 15, I'm going down, I'm counting down. 13 is Kauturehe by Anna Coddington. And this is the only song on this list that has a significant portion that's not in English. So Anna Coddington put out this album / EP earlier this year that is in both parts of it are in Maori and parts of it are in English. And Kauturehe was the song that, like, sold me on that album. It was the first one I heard. It's just got, like, it's very funky. It's got quite the bass, quite the guitar, and Anna Coddington has a, you know, really electric presence, I would say. A lot of energy to this one. I listened to this while I was on the plane to somewhere else, actually, not Germany, a different time. But it's just a kind of a, you know, flexing fuck you song. But it sounds way happier than some of those do. It's got so much, like, so much pep, so much life to it. Like, I listen to Kauturehe and I'm like, oh my god, like, the sun is shining, the daisies are blooming, the sky is beautiful, and my haters are suffering. You know, that's just how you gotta feel when you listen to this song. And god, did we all need it this year. Okay, number 12 is Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, Megan Thee Stallion, still love her despite her occasional lack in versatility. But Hiss is like, it was her kind of addressing some shit for the last time. I think people also removed her mentally from the, like, timeline of the Drake Kendrick feud, because this came out, like, way before any of that exactly started. But she did throw hands, she did, like, shoot shots at Drake in this song, but it kind of got overshadowed by her beef with Nicki Minaj this year. But no, she threw a lot of shots in this song. She threw a lot of shots. What am I talking about, dude? She just, like, so quotable. Like she switches up her flow like pretty constantly in the song. Like you never get to a point where you're like, all right, Megan, like pack it up. It's not a very long song, but she really does demonstrate the command that she has over the beat, the rhythm, whatever, while saying some of the most cutting shit you've ever heard. Like, there were times this year where I would just like quote parts of the song just willy nilly, but no, it's like there's a part where she's saying like cosplay, gangsters, fake ass accents, and then she keeps going, but it's like just so many little sticky phrases that you could just, I don't know. Look, if I could say all the words that were in this song, um, I would do it. I would do the whole song somewhere as like karaoke or whatever, but I can't, so I'm not going to do that, and it would just take too much out of it. Um, my my youngest sibling likes to replace the N word with fella, but for some reason I feel like that wouldn't work for this song. So I'm just, we leave it where it is. But really good song. You should go listen to it. It's good. Number 11 is Magnetic by Illit, Illit. They're like a K-pop group that kind of broke out a bit this year. And you've definitely heard it if you're on Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatever. Any of the short form video platforms were really dominated by this song. I try to not listen to K-pop very often because I kind of don't fuck with a lot of that. But this is not a K-pop hate video. That's another video for a different time. But basically, it just got into my head and it wouldn't fucking leave. But it's also just, I think one of the things that K-pop does do really well in a way that a lot of, I would say, I guess Western music, as much as that's a thing, doesn't anymore, is like that kind of love struck moment of like just soaring joy, where Magnetic really gets that. And the chorus is just so infectious, and the beat is pretty modern for K-pop, and it's just like, it never fails to put me in a good mood, I'll say, about Magnetic. So, yeah. You probably have heard it, but if you haven't, aka you're my mom, then, check it out, just for funsies. Number 10 is, it's Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. Now, obviously, I liked several Kendrick Lamar songs that came out this year. For example, I really liked TV Off. I liked it more than Not Like Us. I like Dodger Blue. I like Luther. I like some of the other random tracks off of the GNX. But Meet the Grams was like the one that I listened to enough that it got in my Spotify Wrapped. And you may be thinking, what's fucking wrong with you? Like, a lot of people could only listen to that song one time because it was scary. I was like, yeah, that's what's good about it. Like, since when has there been such a cutting, kind of spooky song that has been as popular as Meet the Grams was? Like, there's such a creeping dread to Meet the Grams that is so rare in even like popular rap music, where it's just like, you get a shiver down your spine with the beat combined with like the things he said. I know everyone like always talks about like basically the bridge of it, where he's like, you lied about religious views, you lied about your surgery, like all the shit, and it like the vocals slowly get layered, and it's like you're just fucking shaking. Like the first several times I heard this song, it was like my heart, like I could feel my heart pounding, and I still listen to it more after that. I don't want to get too much into random like personal shit, but it was something this year, I think, for a lot of people, in ways that maybe have yet to be acknowledged, that we had this very public takedown of a man in power because allegedly he is like a pedophile or whatever. I'm sure he would call himself an ephebophile, but you know how it is. Just like it's not that I feel like our culture hasn't cared about that, because I think it has. In fact, sometimes I think it's cared about it in weird ways, like with shit like the Satanic Panic. But like, there really was something about it, especially in the year where the Diddy news came out, and some really massive rappers are finally getting what seems to be their comeuppance. I just like, for that to be what the culture is feeling, quote unquote, it does mean something, I think. Um, and yeah, this song "Meet the Grams," even if Drake doesn't actually have a secret daughter, like, it still works as a character study to me. It still works as like just a bit of a spook, bit spooky, we'll say, in a good way, like bone chilling almost. Anyway, number 9 is Supernatural by Frost Children featuring Haru Murray. I bet you thought it was a different song called Supernatural, but you gotta wait. Anyway, Frost Children and Haru Murray did a collab EP this year, which was very good. I already liked Haru Murray. She does like really kind of off kilter, artsy, weird, catchy music that kind of just gets in your mind, gets in your brain. The little wrinkles in there, it just kind of seeps in like Tres Leche is the first thing I thought of that soaks. Um, and Frost Children bring to the table this really eclectic mix of sounds and um, textures. I know I've been talking about sounds and textures a lot, but it's been a big year for sounds and textures, okay? Like, I can't help that. Um, but yeah. So Frost Children and Haru Murray, this was probably like my favorite song on the EP was Supernatural. I'm sorry if you can hear Mumford and Sons in the background. I picked the wrong time to record this, but I'm not fixing it now. It's already 32 minutes in. So, yeah, Supernatural. It's got these like really interesting like stop-start sections, and the beat is really like, it's kind of crunchy. It's like a crunchy beat, and then the electric guitar that comes in just like layers over it in a way that just makes you want to move around. Like, this song was on my running playlist for a good amount of this year. It's just really like, it's fun, and it's also got kind of a cool to it. Like the Frost Children and Haru Murray project. Like, if I had to come up with one descriptive word, it would be cool. It's a cool project. So anyway, yeah, Supernatural is the best of it. Number 8 is Psychic Damage. It's Good Luck Babe by Chappell Rowan. Now, I've heard people say, oh, it's good, but it's not as good as Casual, so like whatever. But the thing is, if I did this list last year, Casual probably would have been like number 1. So this one being number 8 is like a testament to Chappell's ability to write emotionally destructive music, I guess. Good Luck Babe, if you're a woman, or I guess me, non-binary woman vibe, I don't know, fuck dude, I don't know anymore, who loves women and maybe other people, you will probably have some kind of relationship with this song this year, I believe. A lot of people going through it, a lot of situationships. My bad. It's Good Luck Babe is it's like an ice pick to the fucking heart, honestly. And it's so catchy for it still, and you get a really expressive picture of this relationship, which I think Chappell Rowan has said recently that this song isn't really about another woman at all. It's about herself. It's her singing to herself. And sometimes when artists have said something like that, it's passe. Like when Ariana Grande did it and said, oh, break up with your girlfriend, I'm bored, is like to herself. It's like, no, it's not. But I think Chappell Rowan saying that is a deeper expression of something that I already thought, or have always thought about love songs, is that often they're ostensibly about your lover, but more than that, they're about yourself. Everything anyone says is about them, it's not about you. That kind of idea from like derived from the Four Agreements, but like extrapolated into art. When anyone writes songs about other people, there's a reflection of them in that. I think Good Luck Babe is kind of a really cathartic example of that. The bridge is killer, like the production is killer, and the outro, best outro of the year, unequivocally. If you haven't heard it, like, go listen, and I dare you to disagree with me that Good Luck Babe has the best outro of the year. Like, the slowing down until it's her, like, lower register is just, combined with what she's saying, like, the playing irony off of it is just so... You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling, and then it stops, like, you get it, like, it's just great, it's just great. Yeah. Anyway, number 7 is Cheerleader by Porter Robinson. Now, this song did beat out several other Porter Robinson songs, including Perfect Pinterest Garden and Knock Yourself Out and Russian Roulette, and Is There Something that I forgot, but I really like that song, I swear, even though I forgot the name of it. But Cheerleader, one of the reasons I don't look at Genius is because I know that even supposedly intelligent people seem to have fucking not understood the song. Like, Cheerleader, we'll cover the sound first. It's giving, like, kind of emo whatever turned into really electric pop rock for the 2020s. It's very modern, but also kind of has a bit of that callback, and really fun riffs in there. The verses are really catchy. The vocal production kind of captures Porter Robinson's personality very well, despite not being very organic. Yeah, so there's the sound covered. Lyrics. This song is about the idea of a fan who kind of takes things too far in a way, where she's like, she draws me kissing other guys, kind of. You hear that and you get the image of who this is. But then it's not just an indictment of parasocial relationships, which is like what a lot of people have seemingly taken it to be about. Like, oh, it's about how crazy fans can be. It's like, I'm actually tired of that narrative about, like, oh, crazy fan. Like, what are you, a YouTuber? Like, I don't know. I gotta rein myself in, because I don't want to say, if you're a YouTuber, you should shut up about parasocial relationships, because I know that they should, like, that those things have done damage to people, and that they do, like, get really, like, bad things can happen. I know I was kind of caught off guard this year and had to do a little bit of self-examination when Anthony Fantano, who's one of the people I'm irritated with for misunderstanding the song, was talking about how he had been sexually assaulted at one of his meet and greets. And that was like, oh shit. Like, no, like, even when people don't directly say something that happened, when they're complaining about, people having parasocial relationships with them, like, that's definitely a possibility to be aware of. I don't know. I've gotten at times really irritated with the way that people talk about, parasocial relationships. It just, like, comes up and becomes this kind of one-way criticism where there's very little understanding of, like, how basically, like, a lot of these influencers profit off of having parasocial relationships with their fans, or, like, how they've encouraged that, or how fans of content creators are often taken advantage of. literally the same people who complain about parasocial relationships will then take sponsorships from fucking scam companies in the hopes that their viewers follow affiliate links to give them money to buy scams. It's like you're complaining about something that you're then using to fuck people over. Like, I don't know, there seems to be like a lack of self-reflection, which is irritating to me personally. But that's low-key another video. Um anyway, what Cheerleader kind of gets to actually is the way that Porter Robinson actually has realized that, you know, despite the fact that this woman seemed to be very invested in him and his fandom and, you know, drawing pictures of him kissing other guys or whatever, she eventually grows up. She leaves. She does something else. You know, I don't even know what she does now. Is in the bridge. And then he's realizing, like, no, her love was the kind of thing that made him dedicate his life to his craft. Like, you know, do I wish her the best or do I actually miss her? And then the refrain is finally, thought she needed me, but I need her. And it actually was like kind of a breath of fresh air to me in that kind of parasocial relationship discourse, where there was suddenly an understanding coming from Porter Robinson so loudly of, you know, the way that he actually did benefit from having that parasocial relationship with him, and, you know, how he felt about that and how that built him up and how he still feels strange about it years later, but she's moved on. Like, I think the statement of time in this song is powerful, given that I think a lot of people who have those kind of problematic parasocial relationships, quote unquote, are like teenagers, right? Like, they're fucking teenagers drawing pictures of YouTubers kissing each other. Like, you know, people in their 30s don't usually do that. And if they do, like, they get laughed at way more off the internet. But, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I thought this was a really interesting, fresh take, and I'm fucking disappointed in people who did not get it. So, yeah. Anyway, number 6 is Zoom by Machine Drum featuring Tinashe. This song is just a straight up banger. Just, like, banger alert, like, Night Drive banger alert, like, come on, guys. Like, if you haven't heard it, which I think a lot of people haven't, you should. There's also a really interesting framing device with the idea of zooming and pictures and cameras and, you know, this relationship where Tinashe kind of, you know, knows what's going to happen, or like knew what was going to happen. It's very, you know, and it's got like this kind of chilly running beat. It's just really, it feels cool as well. I know I said Supernatural was cool. This one's also cool. It's just got that cool kind of, you know, silk smooth energy to it that's just infectious. Yeah, big recommend. Okay, number 5 is Supernatural, this time by Ariana Grande. Now, I know I said earlier that K-pop often does better these days than Western music at capturing that moment of you know, blissful, woo, in love, in love, in love. But Ariana Grande did it as well. She did. Supernatural by Ariana Grande, just that bouncing hook, soaring hook, her like girlish vocals, like the little bit of the story she's telling about, you know, falling in love despite everything. You know it's about Ethan Slater, but it's like, oh, just pretend you don't know that. Yeah, it's got, you know, I can imagine her like soaring, literally soaring, like in the sky with a pink dress on, just kind of bouncing between things, like skyscraper to skyscraper. I haven't seen the music video, maybe she does that. But yeah, it's just really, it feels like how it feels to realize you're falling in love with someone. So yeah, super recommend. Number 4 is Nissan Altima by Doechii, which beat out so many other Doechii songs for this, including Alter Ego, including Bullfrog, including Catfish, etc., etc. I really did like her album this year. But yeah, Nissan Altima is just it's such a banger of a song. It's the rap banger of the year for me. And there were so many of those, so it's really high praise from me. Obviously, Doechii, she's got this really incredible personality on the microphone, talking about her A-cup titties, like, like, go off queen, like, can't relate, but go off queen. Um, she's just so magnetic on the microphone, like, switching between her flows and also maintaining that same kind of, oh, I don't know how to describe it. I can't really rap, so I'm not gonna make you guys suffer through me trying to do her ad libs. But yeah, she has good ad libs, dude. You should check it out. Especially if you're my youngest sibling and apparently thinks that women are better as features on rap songs. Fucking come on. Anyway, number 3 is Toro by Remi Wolf. Now, Toro by Remi Wolf is an organic sex jam, but as opposed to being, well, maybe sex jam isn't the word, but it's about fucking. It's about that, and it's not slow, it's not belabored, it's not like pillow talk, Zayn level, like, what's going on here? You sound kind of miserable. It's like unequivocally fun. It's similar to Red Wine Supernova in that way for me, where it's just like so much, like, you get a sense of the joy of the sex that she's having, and also the time and the place, like talking about, waking up the people down the hall, and how she has to catch her flight or whatever. It feels very spontaneous, feels very summery, the guitars are guitaring, the drums are drumming. Remi Wolf has a really unique voice and one that, kind of colored my year a bit. Toro beat out Cinderella and Motorcycle and Pitiful and some other shit from that album. I did really like the Remi Wolf album, obviously. And yeah, it's just, Toro's a really good fucking song. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it. Okay, number 2, you knew it was coming. Girl So Confusing, featuring Lorde, by Charli XCX, of course. Now, this song obviously beat out 500,000 fucking Charli XCX songs from this year. I like Brat. I'm a big Brat fan. I mean, aren't we all at this point? But I was low-key, I was kind of early on that. Like, low-key, Spotify sent me a notification telling me I was in the first 4% of 360 listeners. So, eat my dust, guys. But yeah, Girl So Confusing was like the shot heard around the world, I gotta say. Like, when it first came out without Lorde on it, it was a good song where, Charli XCX was expressing this anxiety about a specific woman and her relationship to her and their relationship to womanhood and how people pitted them against each other and kind of this age-old misogynistic discourse. And, while the beat was fire and the auto-tune was doing the kind of subtextual work that auto-tune always does with people's personality and distance and whatever. And then the Lorde remix came out. Oh, fuck, dude. The Lorde remix. It reminds me almost of Somebody That You Used to Know by Gotye featuring Kim Barat. The way it's like, you get through this anxiety, because Charli XCX has her first verse, and then Lorde comes in and it's like, honestly, I was speechless when I woke up to your voice note. And then she just goes off from there, dude. It's so conversational, and the things she says are so, like, immediately memorable and relatable to so many women I've experienced from talking to women, which I do from time to time. Where she's like, I was trapped in the hatred in your life seems so awesome, expressing that envy, and then, calling back to, you're still a young girl from Essex, breaking down that idea that, like, when women become powerful, you kind of stop seeing them as human. And, what's more human than a child? Kind of putting that back in there. And then, talking about her eating disorder, which she hadn't, I don't know if she'd done on record. Forgive me, I didn't really listen to Solar Power. Maybe she did it there. She probably did. Um, but yeah, it was just, it felt like a kind of celebration and like call out for, female solidarity, you know, very meaningful song this year. And Lorde and Charlie XCX had way more vocal chemistry than I could have possibly imagined they would have. Um, them singing together towards the end, you know, the moment where I listened to it for the first time and I heard Lorde say, like, I ride for you, Charlie. I like full body shivers. Okay, full body shivers. Really good, guys. Super good. Super good. My other favorite songs from Brat were Sympathy's a Knife, Everything's Romantic, um, 360, 365, Von Dutch, basically the whole record, Apple, Back to Back, B2B, and I also like some of the remixes as well, obviously. Even the one with Addison Rae, I thought that one was fine and good. Actually, it was good. All right, and then the number one song, if you know me, well, you probably know me if you're watching this, you know it's Magdalena Bay. You just fucking know it's Magdalena Bay. I adored Imaginal Disc. Imaginal Disc is my album of the year, unequivocally, and I don't even have words. If you haven't listened to it, you need to go listen to it. Like, it's about love. It's about fear. It's about death and rebirth and time and the self. Just some really heady topics, and then with a really interesting textural palette. Just, it's synth pop bliss, I would say, in album form, with these really eclectic moments and kind of stepping back and stepping back in. And I just, and the vocalist for Magdalena Bay has been kind of hit or miss for me at some points, but on this album she does have a really kind of smoky, laid back presence, and then screaming, a little bit of screaming. She just kind of fucking goes for it on like all of these songs. And obviously I loved the singles, Death and Romance, Image. And I loved the opener, and I loved the closer, and I loved the other catchy songs on it. I loved That's My Floor. I loved Shrew Blue Interlude, like everything I fucking loved. But there was one song that I played over and over and over again, despite it being one of the shorter ones on the project. And that was Fear, Sex. It's my number 5 most played song of the year. And it's just so fucking good, dude. It's just so good. I don't know, like, obviously I had so much to say about the songs on the list because this video is like 53 minutes long and counting, but if you haven't heard this Magdalena Bay album, you have to go listen to it. You just have to. My mom said it was a little edgy for her, but I think that's bullshit and she should listen to it anyway. Nobody can argue with me about this. Low-key, like, it reminds me of Bioshock Infinite, which is the biggest praise, even though it has literally nothing to do with that game. I don't know why it does that. But just the conception of, like, time and self and all the heady concepts that it deals with are just really woven together into this really beautiful synth pop picture. It's undeniable to me. And Fear Sex was like, well, it was actually like the first song in the album that made me think, fuck, like I need to listen to this like right now. Cause backstory, I had listened to the singles, and I've always listened to Magdalena Bay singles, but I've never listened to a Magdalena Bay album. And then I tuned into the stream where Anthony Fantano was reacting to it, and I heard the song before Fear Sex, and I was like, oh, cool, whatever. And then I heard Fear Sex, and I was like, oh my goodness, guess I need to listen to the album. Like, it's just got this little, like, pitter-patterly skeleton, what am I saying? I need to finish this up, because, yeah. It's just this little twinkly progression of a beat, And then Micah, I think the singer for Magdalena Bay, just kind of fucking vamping all over that shit. Like, dude, give it to me. I'll listen to it 150 more times, dude. 300, 400. I don't even want to know how many times I listen to the song. That's how good it is. So yeah, that was my favorite 24 songs that came out this year. Sorry for saying the phrase hot kids. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye.